I'm gonna keep it 100. So grateful for the life I live. Grateful for the wishes I see. So grateful for the love I'm receiving. Love are the only thing.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Your Guide on Ghana. Today, I am bringing you to the press conference for Ghana Tech Summit, which takes place on the 13th and 14th of December. This is one of the biggest tech summits in Africa. They are here to build, to help develop the local community, people who are interested in the tech industry. They've got Forbes is going to be here, Fast Company will be here. There are so many companies that are interested in Ghana and what it has to offer there, because there's so much untapped talent here and so many opportunities to develop the country and to grow this place as a tech hub. So let's head on to the press conference.
I would like to quickly start with this brief press release. Just give a little brief about the YMCA, and then I'll invite my partners to come. So the YMCA all over the world celebrated 175 years this year when we all met in London in August to observe this milestone. And as part of the program, we were fortunate to have the Ghana Tech Summit partners joining us. And in the course of doing that, the idea came that this year we would like to hold the Ghana Tech Summit at the YMCA. The YMCA basically is for youth empowerment, and in Ghana we have programs around education, health, leadership, and also corporate citizenship. We would like to invite the media to support us in this process as we move ahead. And without taking any much of your time, I would like to invite our partners to also speak to us in depth about what the Ghana Tech Summit is going to be about. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Again, really grateful for your patience and your persistence to be here to help support what we're trying to achieve right now. My name is Einstein Kofi and Tim. I'm the managing partner of the Active Future Fund, which is a fund dedicated to invest in tech companies and startup initiatives across Africa. And of course, being Ghanaian is a slight bias to support more initiatives in Ghana here. I'm also the founder of the Ghana Tech Summit, which has a mandate to truly help build Ghana to become a global international tech hub by the year 2030. And the goal is to help transform this region and help people to instill that mentality around technology. Because right now, as we stand in society, you can't be a business without being a tech-enabled business. You can't be a government without being a tech-enabled government. Everything that we do right now in society involves having technology as a core component within that. And that's why we named it the Summit, Ghana Tech Summit, to bring 100 global speakers across different platforms, from Forbes to Twitter to Facebook to all the different big platforms, from Google, to come to Ghana and help support, but also help kickstart the tech community here within Ghana to help truly build an international component, international tech hub that we want to achieve for Ghana. And what happened this year truly kind of opened my eyes in many ways, because in traveling across Africa, because right now we're doing the Ghana Tech Summit, but we had the African Future Summit, which is a summit we did across 10 countries across Africa, so from South Africa to Ethiopia to Kenya, Rwanda and the like. And we got to see firsthand the issues around youth unemployment and young professionals not being able to have the right support system to help truly build the future that they need for this country and for the Africa that we want for the future. So if with that kind of mentality is why we thought, why don't we bring that support network to the place that truly is building for young people around the world, and that's the YMCA as we stand. But I'm going to definitely shed a bit more light into that a bit more, but I want to introduce my colleague and partner, Christine and Tim, who's the host of the Ghana Tech Summit, to shed some light a bit more about what we're trying to achieve right now. Thank you.
So as echoed by our previous predecessors, thank you and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It's truly a pleasure to see all of you. Not only here to be a part of the media networks to announce Ghana Tech Summit to the local populace, but also your interest and pretty much your contribution to getting this narrative out. First and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself again. My name is Christine and Tim. I'm a Forbes 30 Under 30 entrepreneur. I'm also the host of Ghana Tech Summit. And I want to express 3 major announcements today to make sure that this is the narrative that is shared with the populace by the end of the day. First and foremost, Ghana Tech Summit launched last year. For those of you who are not a part of the program last year, in 2018, we announced 100 speakers and 1,000 attendees at the Accra Conference Center last year, and it was a huge hit. That entire program was done just purely on social media, engaging the youth, and we brought tech moguls from Silicon Valley, from Europe, and around the world. It was the most international event when it comes to tech and business in the country's history. It went viral and it was trending on Twitter at number 2 of the days of the summit. This year, we are back again for the second annual edition of Ghana Tech Summit, and we're bringing back again 100 global speakers, 1,000 attendees. But what is different about this year? I want to stress, Ghana is a place where there's a lot of activities when it comes to tech, business, impact, and investment. It is estimated as about 8,000 to 11,000 events on an annual basis that happens in Ghana every single year. So what makes this event different than any other one? First and foremost, Ghana Tech Summit is a 12-year initiative that started last year that will continue every single year until 2030. Many people ask, why is this a multi-year initiative to host this program every single year with international and local partners? One, as mentioned before, is because we believe that there is a crisis on our hands regarding youth unemployment, but more specifically, tech innovation in countries across the African continent. 5 years ago, when we talk about Africa, people always had negative narratives around Africa in terms of political corruption and instability, all the negative connotations we think about the African continent. Now when you talk about Africa, people are positive. You hear from my American accent, I'm here in Ghanaian Kinde, right? Because we are having a different narrative about Africa and the future of Africa. And that's not just the culture around us, and not just the music, but also when it comes to business. And so to make sure that you build an initiative over time that actually takes hold in the populace, we knew we had to dedicate at least a decade to Ghana and a decade to Africa. Hence the reason last year when we announced that we would do a multi-year initiative, it was reached and received with a lot of skepticism, but here we are again for the second annual edition of Ghana Tech Summit. So that's the first thing. Second, I want to stress who we're bringing to Ghana and who we're activating in Ghana locally as well. If you look at the site, you will see that we're bringing 100 speakers. These speakers are coming from LinkedIn to do career building workshops to help people really improve their brand, because we have a workforce of young people who are going to school, getting educated for jobs that won't even exist tomorrow. So LinkedIn is a major partner coming for product development, career development, to help educate people for the future of work. Second, we also have a major partnership with Forbes magazine. Forbes magazine, as many of you know, is a 100-year-old publication that's been around for over a century. And I want to stress, it's not just anyone from Forbes magazine that's coming to Ghana. It's not just an editor that's coming to Ghana. It is the C-level suite that's coming to Ghana. Tom Davis, the Chief Marketing Officer of Forbes magazine, will be in the building. The Vice President of Marketing and Development at Forbes magazine will be here, Liz Walsh, and Mary Baru, who's the content editor for Forbes magazine, which means Forbes actually brought their entire executive team to show their passion, not only for what's happening on the African continent based on the narrative, but also there is a potential for Ghana. As we all know, this is a great time for Ghana in terms of the year of return, so there's a massive flux of people coming into the country, and we want to make sure we document those narratives. So Forbes is not only here as a production partner, but they're also interviewing entrepreneurs and participants on site at the program. So Forbes is the second major partner. The third ecosystem networks of partners that we engage, the Diaspora Office from the President's Office will be around, GitHub, SAP, all right, and DigitalOcean, HubSpot, Google Cloud, IBM, and AWS. These are all the international tech partners that will be around. And last but not least, I want to stress that many of these international partners are coming here because they want to make multi-year agreements with local influencers, because Year of Return has been a great initiative for Ghana. But what happens after this year? We need to think long term. We need to think about how can we leverage tech, entrepreneurship, and most importantly, the young people to really galvanize this movement forward. The last thing I will share is the location of Ghana Tech Summit this year. As you can imagine, last year we announced this program at the Accra Conference Center in partnership with Compensy. This year, we have relocated this announcement, this press conference. Keep in mind, the entire summit is already oversubscribed. We only have spots for 1,000. It's already 2,400 RSVPs as we stand. So this announcement is not to get more people to come. It's already an oversubscribed event because people see the value of what we're bringing for this multi-year initiative. The reason why we're here is to make a very clear announcement of our mission and our purpose to galvanize young people. Hence the reason we are right here at the YMCA. I want to stress, my colleague stressed, the YMCA has been here for over 175 years. But do you know the connection of YMCA to Ghana specifically? Kwame Nkrumah actually gave this land to the YMCA because of their purpose and mission to young people. And how can we talk about empowering young people who are educated and not getting the opportunities that they deserve and not bringing them to them? And when you think about some of the international speakers that we're bringing, these are high-level professionals, high-level influencers. If we're talking about empowering the youth, we got to go where the place where youth actually reside. Hence the reason why we're hosting this program here. You will see an entire reconstruction on the days of the Ghana Tech Summit to see how this place will come alive. And I will share that we have actually did this partnership with the YMCA across 5 countries of Africa. This is not our first stop working with the YMCA. We did the YMCA program with a tech summit with the U.S. Embassy and Forbes magazine in South Africa, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Rwanda, and here we are with Ghana for 100 speakers and 1,000 speakers from around the world coming here for Ghana Tech Summit. So our goal to come here at the YMCA is to send 3 very important messages to the public. 1, we do believe in our youth, and we're coming where the youth reside. The YMCA has a brand and honestly a vision for empowering young people, and we believe that we align in that vision. Second, to really bring these high-level individuals to connect with the young people. Many young people complain that their voices are never heard and never respected. And that's the reason why we want to make sure this is an environment where it's easy for these international speakers and influencers to connect with these local individuals. And finally, to stress and recommit our commitment that this is a multi-year initiative. We will be back again next year. We'll be back again in the next year, and we'll be back again and again and again until 2030. Which means this is a multi-year initiative to make this happen, to turn Ghana into an international tech hub, Ghana into an international destination for not just the glory and beauty of what Ghana has as a history, but a place for innovation, a place for people to find really bright, talented influencers locally in the country and spread that across Africa and the world. So with that, I hope that in summary, that you guys recall in summary, 1, Ghana Tech Summit will take place right here at the YMCA, December 13th to the 14th, 2 full days of 100 speakers and 1,000 attendees. That's 1. Second, we are partnered with LinkedIn, Forbes magazine, and over 88 different local and international partners to host this program. And finally, we are hosting it here at the YMCA because of our purpose and mandate to empower the youth and really commit to Ghana over the next 12 years. Thank you so much for your time. 1, to make it more accessible to the local populace, because with all these international speakers from around the world coming to Ghana, we want to make sure it's accessible. But second, to make sure that we focus on the youth. We understand that there is a huge unemployment crisis across the African continent when it comes to our young people being educated and don't have access to jobs and opportunities. And now, by bringing this program here at the YMCA has a vision and a brand for empower the youth. The YMCA has been around for over 175 years. This land, as we speak, was actually given from Kwame Nkrumah himself because he believed in the vision of the YMCA to empower the youth. Right now, if we don't empower the youth to give them access to opportunities, if you're watching what's happening around the world in the news, there are riots happening in Bolivia, riots happening in Haiti, in Ecuador, in Venezuela. If we don't figure out how we can empower the youth, we're going to see these happening across the African continent. And we know there are ways to empower the youth with technology, with the internet, with digital transformation. And that's why with a powerful event with people from Forbes, LinkedIn, SAP, all these international partners, they always go to the same place. You know, the same places where only a select few are able to get access to us. By us saying that we're hosting it here at the YMCA, you cannot deny the fact that it's free and open to all, and it's free. Which means if a young person wants to come and really have the access to Forbes magazine, to SAP and LinkedIn, now for this year, you don't have to ask any questions. You just walk in and have access and give your best. And so this is the reason why the 2nd annual edition is really to fulfill that purpose. And keep in mind, this is happening every year. And we hope that this is a platform for us to get bigger and bigger and to really be a movement for young people in Ghana for the future. So thank you so much.
So you are the founder of Ghana Tech Summit.
Yes.
What made you decide to start such an event?
It went back to the fact that, like, for me personally, I had to go to Silicon Valley to raise the capital I needed to help scale my company very rapidly. And I realized that if you didn't go there, somewhere like that, you wouldn't be able to have that kind of opportunity to be able to do so. So how do we bring that kind of ecosystem mentality to Ghana 2 places across emerging markets, across Africa. And for me, I'm biased because I'm also Ghanaian, so I brought it to Ghana to help kickstart that ecosystem mentality, kickstart bringing investment, bring in these large-scale companies to help build hubs over here and transform Ghana into an international tech hub by 2030.
How did you manage to get companies like Forbes and Fast Company and Google in the past interested in this event? Because a lot of people don't, I mean, they know Africa's growing, but there's still people who don't really understand the continent.
Yeah, for me, it starts with just recognizing the value of us as a people and the continent and Ghana especially. It's an easy sell when you, because at the end of the day, these people are coming in because they see value. The hardest sell is actually not getting those people to be plugged in and to recognize it, is getting the Ghanaians and Africans themselves to recognize the value that they have. Because Google, they launched the AI Center at the Ghana Tech Summit last year, and people were saying, oh, we went across 10 countries in Africa, they're like, oh, Ghana was so lucky. Google launched the AI Center, Ghana's so lucky. And I said to them, no, Ghana's not lucky. Google is the one that's lucky, because they recognize the value over there. So once you see the value, you approach these people in a manner that they understand and recognize, and it's easy to kind of pull them in to bring that. So we got LinkedIn, Forbes, Google, SAP, name it, we have them all coming through. But most importantly, we also have Ghanaian talent coming and taking part in it too.
So how do you get Ghanaians to recognize their value? Because as you said, it's getting the Ghanaians to recognize it. That's the challenge. What do you do to get them interested?
I'll give you a good example. For me, last year we brought Microsoft in. And Microsoft did a huge program within the Ghana Tech Summit as part of the program that they had about over 100 people take part in it and recruit people on the spot to work for Microsoft. All right, that's not my goal. It's amazing. It's amazing, but that's not my goal. I'm not trying to bring Microsoft in here to get Ghana's best talent. I'm trying to get Ghanaians to build great initiatives. Which is why we have the fund to invest in great companies, right? So, I mean, the question is about it's just letting them see that. Look, how do I better frame it? Just recognize the talent that's available here in Ghana is probably the most important thing, and letting the people recognize it. And we do all of this, just let people see that. So bringing Google in, bringing Forbes in, bringing SAP in, bringing these guys, it's not for them to come through. It's just for Ghanaians themselves to recognize these people are coming through. So why don't you yourself step up in that process? And the final example I give is from my fund, right, the Africa Future Fund. It's a shame that I had to raise most of the capital abroad, right? And yet we have enough resource, enough capital in Ghana, in Nigeria, across the continent. Is again helping people. If you see a fund or an LP and a private equity fund from Germany or Saudi Arabia invest in initiatives, investing in Ghanaian companies, then it will get some of the Ghanaian leaders who recognize, okay, how do I put more of my capital in that process? So just doing all of this to help people recognize that value themselves in that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Just to add into that part again about the value proposition, because last year when we did the summit, like Christine, we Google up some of the partners involved in that, so was Microsoft. And actually what we saw was that we brought Microsoft in to do a recruitment campaign to recruit a number of Ghanaian professionals into the company. Google launched the Google AI Center, which everybody's kind of heard about. That was launched at the Ghana Tech Summit. So we already have tangible outcomes of what's taken place so far to help showcase that this is what took place, these are the results that happened afterwards. From the incubators like the Ghana Innovation Hub to the Ghana Tech Labs to the incubators that are taking place. So these are tangible outcomes that are taking place since Ghana Tech Summit took place. And for many people out here right now, I would just say that for me personally, I'm a Ghanaian. I grew up in the UK, and this is me. I came 2017 to the Ghana Homecoming Summit, right? For the Diaspora Homecoming Summit, and I was able to meet people here and see what's taking place. And I saw a lot of diaspora actually complaining about issues in Ghana and problems around Ghana. And for me, it kind of opened my eyes to what was taking place about how to really get involved and actually make an impact. So myself, my company that I launched in London, which is around mental health and artificial intelligence, I was able to go to Silicon Valley and actually get venture capital support to help scale my company quite rapidly. And the question I kept asking myself was, if I did that in the UK or in Ghana, would I have been able to scale my company so quickly in that time period? And I wouldn't have been able to. And that's because there was no tangible, strong ecosystem that could help anyone trying to raise capital, build support networks to help do that. And that's why we thought to launch the Ghana Tech Summit, but also to build a fund that can invest in entrepreneurs and people who are actually trying to scale their companies quite rapidly. So I'm quite happy that this year we launched a $20 million fund to help invest in initiatives across Ghana and across Africa. And a part of this Ghana Tech Summit is help champion and meet people who actually have innovative ideas, innovative companies to help support them in that venture. So I'll just love to try to tell people that I know there's the European is a huge mandate, but we have to think about the future, especially for the youth, for young professionals, and even people who are coming in as diaspora who are getting a bit more disenfranchised. There is opportunity here, and we just need to kind of help build an ecosystem that can help support that process. So with that being said, thank you very much for being here. I'm really grateful for that.
So yes, that's mean that the event is being relocated here to the YMCA. And keep in mind, I want to stress the event is actually free. I didn't stress that during the program. But last year there was a charge for the event, and we realized that there was a lot of people that could not participate. So this year, the entire program, you can actually go on GhanaTechSummit.com, try to register, it's free to attend, and it's being hosted here. Which, as you can imagine, is not easy, which is why we work with so many partners this year to make 1,000 people come to the summit for free. Been a very difficult endeavor for the past year, but we're proud to make that happen. So we are relocating the program here at the YMCA.
Since it's a multi-year program, and you don't have all the units in Accra, do you have plans of extending to other regions? You have 16 regions in Ghana now. You have plans of extending it to other regions so that all youth in Ghana will benefit from it?
Yeah, I completely agree. My goal is to we're actually going to do a pre-gather, pre-summit in Kumasi, right, in the next week to help galvanize people to come to Accra for the summit. But the goal is, again, going back to your question you even asked about it being that the fund is actually what's sponsoring this process, right? So we bring in all these international speakers and these partners to Ghana to help train people, right? So the goal is over the next few months to actually do more of those across the country, whether it's in Tamale to Mogatanga to even Takoradi again, parts of the Eastern region. So we actually got plans to do across the country and support not just companies and people in Accra, but people all across the country. So definitely a strong goal for that. And stressing the fact that, look, we made this event free. This kind of program, it cost hundreds of dollars last year, right? But we got the support. We worked really hard to make that possible and make it available for free for people to take part in it. And even though we still have a part of the program, which is for the VIP Gala taking place between Kempinski and another private location, but the main summit itself is actually happening here to help people recognize that, take that support to people who need it the most, right? Yeah. And make it more accessible. Because even though last year we had it at the conference, and there were a lot of people who felt maybe it being there, it's very intimidating for them. By bringing it to a place where people know, okay, this is the support, registering the people, they will know to be able to take part in it and be a part of it.
Arif Purcell and African Center for Empowerment of the U.S. I commend you all for bringing the conference closer to the people. That is great. With the changing landscape of tech, it moves so fast. You know, summits and conferences are great, but what are your plans around training in depth, youth here in Ghana for the changing landscape of tech?
Super.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
So thank you for the question regarding what is our plans for training. So I didn't stress the agenda because remember I told you there's over 8,000, 11,000 events in a year in Ghana, and a lot of it is someone's keynoting from the government, someone's keynoting from the private sector, just talks, and everyone goes, and people come because of the high-profile nature. Let me stress, I am very, very proud of our agenda. So the beginning half of the day is all keynotes and inspirational talks from both international speakers and local speakers about their perspective of how do you succeed as an entrepreneur in Ghana or in Africa. The second half of the day, for the first day, we have workshops on LinkedIn, training people on career development, training for developers, because you cannot build a country of the next generation of business moguls if they are not building those companies locally. So there's developer training for free by GitHub, DigitalOcean, and HubSpot. On day 2 of the program, we have a full 3-hour boot camp. That boot camp is on customer acquisition, teaching people how to find customers with limited resources, funding raising, because one thing that's very a big issue is access to capital. And one thing I would say, even though you have access to capital, how do you spend that capital? There's not enough training teaching entrepreneurs how to leverage limited capital, especially in an environment like this. So we have a fundraising boot camp. Third, we have a media boot camp with Forbes magazine to teach people how to pitch and present themselves as entrepreneurs, so that way you pitch and present. And the final component is really around business development training, how to build your business and how to build your career. So the entire summit is filled with about over like 30 plus keynote sessions from these partners and about 6 hours of free workshop training on business development and career development. And that's for the summit alone. Keep in mind, if you notice, one of the partners for the program is the Global Startup Ecosystem. If you Google it, it's the world's largest digital accelerator. After you go through Ghana Tech Summit, just like the participants last year, they go through a free 3-month online training. And the only admission that you get without having to pay for that program is going through the summit. So once you register, you automatically have access to that accelerator after the program as well.
Yeah, and that's the main part, because the summit is to bring a spotlight to what's taking place, and then the real hard work starts. So for me, I'm not an event organizer, right? I'm a fund manager looking for great companies to invest in across the country. Right, so by getting people to come through to see what's taking place, we provided training across, Christine mentioned customer acquisition, leveraging these platforms, because at the end of the day, most people don't leverage what's available to them on the internet. If you're a farmer, you can tap into satellites to help you improve your crop yields. You can learn how to spread internet access across the country. These are things people can work on. They teach people how to think innovatively, to gain the skill set to actually build your companies appropriately, but also not just starting a company builder alone. Whether you're a media personnel who can actually tap into a bigger media audience or even government people who need to learn how to bring technology into that governance mechanism. So it goes beyond just the summit. It's the training that we provide prior to the summit and ongoing after. We take about 1,000 companies across the world, across 9 countries every year. So it's something we've been doing for over 5 years that we continue to build onto that. But it's just that there's an added component of the investment side. So I do want people to stress that besides myself, we put together investors at the summit to look for great companies to support and invest in. And folks are going to be doing pitch competition as well.
Yes, I apologize. I forgot to mention, Forbes is looking for stories to interview on site. So Forbes, I don't know if I can announce it now, but Forbes, first off, they're selecting people to interview. Entrepreneurs, if they have a great company, they have 1 minute to pitch Forbes magazine on the spot, and it's going to be open to at least like a couple hundred people to be able to present that. The application is actually live. They could go on the website and submit because the application actually closes on Friday. So anyone is open to that, no matter what your background, for you to come here and pitch Forbes magazine. Second, Forbes is also giving a capital prize to that as well. I can't share the amount. It's going to be announced next week. But Forbes magazine is not only featuring entrepreneurs in Ghana, but also giving a cash prize to an entrepreneur to take that, so that way they can build on their company here locally. And that's something that many of the partners are doing, because keep in mind, Ghana Tech Summit is a part of a global network of summits that we're doing across the African continent. This year we did 10, but Ghana obviously is the biggest one, obviously because of the bias, but more importantly because Ghana has been spearheading innovation for a while. And so this is the reason why the biggest one for the entire tour across Africa is happening here in Ghana.
And the training part also adds to the fact that, we did a summit in Ethiopia at the YMCA. Before, myself and team, we had a little conversation about should it be at the YMCA, should we pick, Pinsky, which is what we've done in the past. And it was a big back and forth. But what we saw, especially in Ethiopia, really changed my heart and my mindset, right? Because after things were innovated in the YMCA in Ethiopia, that was a continual support for the people who use the facilities. So you can imagine if a room is transformed, the computers are brought in, all these kind of things take place. If it's happening at the conference center, then of course another event comes through, that's it. Particularly the YMCA is a continual process that people can benefit from, going forward. And something that we want to look to try and help bring that across the YMCA, but across the country itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. So there you have it, the Ghana Tech Summit on the 13th and 14th of December. This is going to be really exciting, happening here at the YMCA, a place that is inclusive for young people to not feel intimidated, as they said during the Tech Summit last year, which was at the Accra International Conference Center. They felt like maybe it might have been a little bit of a disconnect for some of the young people who may have wanted to come, but felt like it was a bit intimidating. So this is a really great initiative, and I'm looking forward to the Tech Summit this year. I'm hoping I'm able to go, at least one of the 2 days, because my schedule is quite busy for the month of December with year return happening. So thanks for watching another episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.